Andy Seiss continues to lead here at Caraway. The Triad Commercial Property Services 150 on Versus. He's pulled away just a bit from L.W. Miller. Seiss is led right from the first lap here tonight at Caraway Speedway. Let's head down to the pits. Rob Klemmer standing by. Rob.
Well, guys, James Savelli not having the best night thus far, but he did tell me earlier in the night that his plan is simple. About the first 60 to 75 laps, he is on cruise control. He has said absolutely nothing on the radio. So maybe Jimmy Spencer, he's trying to save those tires. We also wanted to mention we saw the 12 of Mike Norman pull in the pits. No oil pressure on the Ford.
Well, Rob, Mike Norman did go out and run a lap and came out. It's been a very difficult day for Mike, a rookie here on the tour, and longtime friend and crew member. Joe Plowman passed away this morning, and Mike came out here, but it's going to be a very early night. Credit to him and his crew for coming here and getting out to take that green flag, and their night is over right now. You mentioned, and we heard from Rob a moment ago about Savali's strategy. What is the best strategy here? Because tires are so important at this track.
Well, he brings a great point up because you're not allowed to put tires on your car. So the tires you started with, you have to finish with. Now we see Zeus still leading and consistently running about 1/10 of a second quicker than anybody. Seiss is leading this race and actually pulling away from everybody. But yet we know the experience that Savali has. And if he is saving his tires, a lot of laps left. We've only completed a third of the way. So maybe his strategy will work. Time will tell. But good idea, saving your tires.
Well, there you see Savali trying to keep his pace there. But meanwhile, up front, it is Andy Seiss in front. He won the race here back in the spring to get his year going in a great direction. The Spring Classic 150 at Caraway here on March 14th. Needless to say, Andy Seiss likes Caraway.
Because it's so racy. You can use the inside, the outside. We have had some success there in my short career in the Southern Tour with 3 wins. So it's a place I look forward to going to, a place that I feel I have the upper hand when we go. The crew always gives me a great car when we go there, so we're always looking to end up in victory lane.
And it's not like this track is right down the road for him like it is for a lot of the guys we see here today. Andy and his crew come down from New Hampshire every week. There's a race here on the Southern Tour. He says he loves it. They know their little stopping points along the way, the Jersey Turnpike, wherever they stop, and they get here and they race, and they've had a lot of success here on the tour.
You know, deep down inside you're saying, you know what, I hope this guy wins, because that's a long way.
New Hampshire is a long
driving back tomorrow, but you know what? He likes this racetrack, and I can tell you this as a driver, you love to race a place. Yes, it's a long trip, but you love to go to a racetrack that you've had success at. It helps your confidence level when you go to other facilities.
So Seiss and Miller are towards the top. John Smith is third, and your guy, Frank Fleming, who has had a lot of success here at this track, is hanging tough there in the number 4 position.
Yeah, and what we're starting to see now is Seiss has opened up about a 6/10 of a second on second place, and then Miller has opened up on Fleming, and well, Fleming in the 4th, Smith moved into 3rd. So these guys are about 3.5 seconds behind the leader right now, as we're seeing Frank here in 4th. So that's a lot of distance to give up. Is he also saving his tires? Remember, Frank, a lot of second place finishes here. He has had some success here also.
We have completed 56 of 150 laps here at Caraway. It is a 68.25 mile race here on this August evening.
And you know what's interesting, Eric, is you never could tell in a NASCAR race the tempo. They drop the green flag. These guys racing hard. No cautions yet. So this is really interesting. This is going to be hard on these guys' tires. They have no chance to cool these tires down. So this is really will start showing here. Can they maintain this pace? Because they're setting a pretty torrid pace right now.
And pretty big separation now. 1-2 is tight. Seiss and Miller. Then you drop back just a bit to John Smith and Frank Fleming, who we just talked about in 4th position, well back, and he has Burt Myers right on his back bumper.
Yeah, we also see, you know, the Myers now. Lofton has passed Savali. Myers has passed Savali. And Savali's all the way back to 8th. Now, Brumholzer's moved up to 9th. So this is really interesting. I'm really wondering Savali saving that much because he is right now some 6.5 seconds behind the leader, Seiss.
Savali posted right now in 8th position. Brunholzel in 9th, and Brandon Heyer in 10th place. Heyer in the number 44. Started and finished 11th here in the July race at Caraway. Had an accident in Bristol last time out and finished last.
We're starting to see a little heat on these brake rotors. You know, we're seeing a battle here between Frank Fleming and Burt Myers. And look at the rotors. You see right into that big wheel. And this is interesting because these cars aren't prone to be having a big brake and a lot of cooling. So this could start playing a little bit of a strategy into the game. If you use the brakes up, you're in trouble at this racetrack. Look how red the rotors are on Myers' car.
There were 8 cautions in the July race here at Caraway. We have not had a caution here tonight. It's been green flag from the beginning. As you see some of the vitals on Burt Myers, we were there at the stadium. Myers is in front, got the little bit of a love tap from L.W. Miller, and Miller went on to his 11th career victory.
Yeah, that was a great race. And when we saw a patented move, you know, where, you know, Myers just started to get a little looser than he needed to be, and LW put a great move on him and turned 3 and 4 and passed him. But, you know, I'm telling you, fans, when I see this much heat in these brake rotors, this is not a sign of a car that's handling really well. Also, you're going to start seeing where this could really start playing havoc on the tires, the beads of the tires. Plus, boiling the brake fluid, you'll start fading. The brakes won't be as firm. And imagine as you step on the brakes, it just keeps getting softer and softer. That's what's happening to Myers' car. But yet he's still not giving up as he's trying to pass Fleming on the outside and turn 3 and 4.
Fleming in that battle right now as Burt Myers looks on the outside. And Myers, does he have enough to hold on to that position?
He makes the pass, Eric. What a great move on the outside. So now we've seen the racetrack get its second groove already into play here before halfway.
Myers jumps up to 4th. Fleming drops to 5th. It's still Andy Seiss on top. L.W. Miller in 2nd. John Smith, the guy to keep your eye on. He won in July here. And now some trouble with Brian Lofton.
You know, we're seeing his brake rotors red. Is he boiled the brake fluid? Because it doesn't look like it's coming from underneath the hood. It looks like it's coming from the left. It could be an oil leak, though. I hear I'm estimating, I'm guessing fans, but I'm just surprised at the redness in these brake rotors.
So we have a close eye on Brian Lofton, who raced full-time in the weekly series at Bowman Gray this year, was 4th in the March race here at Caraway. His last win on this tour was here at Caraway. 11 career victories, but in trouble here at Caraway in Carolina.